Hello, good afternoon, all. My name is Dr. Uma Sinha. Today I'm going to present on the topic rise of the e-learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, what is the first we have to know? What is the impact of the COVID-19 on the education system? According to the research conducted by the United Nations, the COVID-19 pandemic has been the largest disruptions to ever occur in the educational system, which has impacted more than 1.5 billion students in over 185 countries. In India, 11.9 percentage of reported COVID-19 infections are among the children and the adolescents under 20 years of the age. And 1.5 million school closures have impacted 247 million children enrolled in the elementary and secondary educations and 28 million children who were attending the preschool education in the Anganwadi center. The school became closer due to this COVID-19 affected almost 90% of the students around the world, including 743 million girls. Now see what is the impact of this COVID-19 on this education. So here we had found that from the total 2,751 responded, their main reason is related to the COVID-19, which were reported by 24 percentage of those who left alongside inability to pay the school fees and being forced to take up work. Female students living in especially in the poorest and the most vulnerable household are at greater risk of their classes continue to be suspended and there remain a significant digital divide in access to the online e-learning. So this one we can see that UNESCO figure refers to the learner uh, enrolled at the pre-primary, primary, lower secondary and the upper secondary level of the education as well as the tertiary level. It is nearly 1.38 billion. Now, what is the understand by that? What to understand by the term of the meaning e-learning? E-learning is a timely topic and international perspective, which is very much useful, especially in the light of the COVID-19 pandemic. E-learning has become a mandatory component of all the education institutions like the school, college, and university in and around the world. Due to the pandemic crisis of the COVID-19, this deadly situation has flipped out the offline teaching process. E-learning provides an effective teaching method that bring out the best in the learners. This is a picture which has sum up the e-learning and how this type of this e-learning in a world that is driven by the technology will enhance the future of the education. E-learning, you can see it is an innovative teaching learning process. It introduces the abstract concept. It also helpful for the teaching aid resources and it is also a target multiple intelligence. And e-learning also increases the teacher effectiveness and it also increases the formative assessment, improve productivity in the class. Face-to-face interaction laced with the computer-aided learning. And this e-learning is a real-time e-learning. Now see, what is the main core of the education is to learn. Learning is the process of acquiring knowledge or the skill through the study, experience or being taught. Any freak accident that happen in the world will always leave its impact on the education. And so the pandemic of COVID-19 also has a footprint on the education system. The outbreak of this dangerous virus across the globe has forced educational institutions to shut down to control the spread of the virus. This happening made the teaching professional think of the alternative methods of the teaching during this lockdown, and thus it paved the way towards the web-based learning or e-learning or the online learning. In today's scenario, learning has stepped into the digital world in which the teaching professional and the students are virtually connected. E-learning is quite simple to understand and implement. The use of the desktop, laptop, or smartphone and the internet form a major component of this learning methodology. E-learning provides rapid growth and provide to be best in all the sectors, especially in the education during this lockdown. In short, in response to the emerging and ever solution to the COVID-19 outbreak, most of the higher education system is operate through the e-learning. Now see, This is an e-learning strategy. It helps in the participation, technical issues, content, creator and acquisitions, feedback systems, cost, limitations, types of the learner, and business improvement. This is some strategy of the e-learning. What is the advantage and disadvantage of the e-learning? Advantages of the e-learning, we can say that it is a more rational use of the time for the teachers and the student. It also expansion of the potential audience, possibility for some cost cutting in the educational process, and disadvantage of e-learning, additional requirement to the technical providing, necessity for teachers and student adaptation, and transference of existing educational materials in the system of the management by the educational materials. In the conclusion, we can say that e-learning seems to be the forthcoming trend. It has been extending widespread. The online method of the learning is best suited for everyone, depending on their availability and comfort. Many people choose to learn at a convenient time. This enables the learner to access update content whenever they want it. Due to the wide set of the benefit it gives the student. In conclusion, e-learning has become quite popular among the students across the world, particularly during the lockdown period due to the COVID-19 pandemic. E-learning is not the result of the current situation crisis. Due to the outbreak of the coronavirus in the most countries around the world, its transformation into a pandemic prevented the continuation of the educational process in its traditional face-to-face form in all educational institutions at all levels. Consequently, many university education institutions adapted to the e-learning system, whether completely or partially, to raise the efficiency and effectiveness of the education process and advance it toward achieving its goal toward the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. Thank you for giving me the presentation on this international conference platform. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.